LegacyMaker, the all sports network, presents a SIRTOBA Media production where the struggle is real to be awesome.
5, 4, 3, 2.
The wait is over.
Let's get this thing started.
Get your popcorn ready. It's time for the In or Out sports debate with your hosts, Robb Johnson and Drew Willingham.
After 15 long months, my guy to my side, my colleague, Mr. Robb Johnson, and I are back on the In or Out sports debate for episode 5. How are you doing today, my man?
I am absolutely terrific. Let's get this thing going.
All right, let's kick this thing off.
Round 1.
Tom Brady will best his most recent milestone of 600 passing touchdowns and eclipse 700 before retiring.
I am in. The reason I'm in on this situation is simply because he already has 606. He already has 25 touchdowns throughout this season so far. We're only through week 7. We're going to week 8. And he's just a great quarterback. He'll be 45 in August. And just in my opinion, why not? I mean, all he has to do is average 20 touchdowns for the next, 3-4 seasons. And he'll get past 700 in my opinion. So I think I'm definitely in on that. Tom Brady will get past 700 with no problem.
I'm in on this as well. If he actually plays till 50, which he's been talking very, very out loud about that here recently. At first it was 45. Now he wants to go to 50. He's very close to the age of 45. And the way he's been playing, I would have to go in on that. This past weekend and for the past couple of weeks, he actually hasn't looked all that great. He's actually been looking more human-like. But I tell you what, for the first month and a half of football, though, when it first started out, he was looking like the Tom Brady of old, looking like the Tom Brady that we kind of in some parts hadn't actually seen before because he looked like he was playing like a 24-year-old quarterback. I am in on this as well. We shall see how old TB12 does down the line.
Round 2.
The Lakers' lack of production should be motivation towards making pre-deadline trades if any hope of contending this season.
I am in. With getting Russell Westbrook, it's been a really, really iffy start to the season, in my opinion. I mean, I know that you got to find some chemistry, and I know that their off-season training schedule is not what it used to be because things have been kind of messed up with the pandemic and kind of jumbled together. I get that. But when you've got the talent of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, you got Dwight Howard on the bench, you also got Carmelo Anthony. You should be, in my opinion, if we were to stack this team 10 years ago, you should be undefeated right now in a video game. But yes, it is not a video game. This is real life. This is NBA. And I can see my man over here has got some things to say in response to it. But yes, I am in.
Drew, I am out. Are you serious right now?
Get the f*** out of here!
I am not a Russell Westbrook guy. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows I've never been a fan of his. Yes, he's a Hall of Famer. But let's look at the numbers. 18 points per game. If you round everything up, he's averaging 9 rebounds, 9 assists a game. The Lakers are a very balanced team. I was a little critical of them the first game because I didn't like the way they played, but that was just the first game. This team is balanced. You have Carmelo Anthony, who had 23 points the last game. LeBron James not being asked to do too much too soon, and Anthony Davis is leading this team in scoring. So I'm out on this, Drew. You got to do your homework, my man. I mean, I know we're not that big of Russell Westbrook guys, but come on now, Drew. Come on.
I just feel they should be undefeated, man. If I were to put this game into NBA 2K13 right now, if I were to take this team and put them together and I played it, they would be undefeated.
Real life, Drew. This is real life. This is not a video game. Like what Jay-Z said. This ain't a movie, dog. This is real life, dog. Real life. This is real life, Drew. Come on, man. This is not a video game. Come on, bro. It's not a video game.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, you can see by my beard, it looks like I've been sleeping under a rock for the past 15 months.
I think so. I think so, because Russell Westbrook is actually balling right now. And it's not hard for me to say that. Even though I may not be a fan of somebody, I still give them credit when it is due.
I'm just not seeing the triple doubles though, man. Like
You don't need triple doubles. It's not about triple doubles, Drew. It's about playing within the system. If you play within the system, you will have success. And I don't care how great of a player you are. If you cannot play within the system, you will not win games. And this is all about championships for him, Carmelo, et cetera, et cetera. LeBron wants to get to 5 and then 6.
Round 3.
The Washington football team will make the playoffs this season, regardless of starting out with a 2-6 overall record.
Hell no, I'm out.
Get the f*** out of here!
Have you seen this team? Have you seen the type of things they've been doing? You know, Taylor Heineke, yeah, I think he got a beer, what was it, like a beer deal with Heineken, I think. And, you know, it was all good. And, you know, he was riding high after they beat the Falcons. This guy, I believe, has got 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Landon Collins can't decide whether he's a linebacker or a safety. There's discombobulation. Ron Rivera, Cam Newton's not coming through that door. As I said on this show a few years back, I think it was on one of the shows I did here with Drew. Cam Newton's not coming through that door, and you're looking like a very average coach. I like Ron Rivera, but he's looking like an average coach. This team has a lot of work to do, and I love the Washington football team's defense, but they got to start living up to the billing, man. That defense is not doing what they're supposed to do, so I'm out right now, man, unless they get some improvements.
Yeah, there was so much hype with Jack Del Rio taking over this defense. And last year, they looked really well. If this was this time last year, I would say that, yes, I believe that they could make the playoffs. And they did. It was with a terrible record, but they still made the playoffs on a terrible division.
Are you in and out, Drew?
With that said,
Drew, I'm hearing a bunch of stuff in your mind. I know you know this team very well. Are you in and out, my friend?
I was about to get to that. This team, as a fan for the past, 18 months, it has been terrible.
As an
analyst, going through the experience as an analyst and also as a closet fan of the Washington football team, formerly known as the Redskins, it is a travesty. I am out.
Get the f*** out of here!
I believe that they will not make the playoffs this year. Come on, they are 2-6. I don't care how much of a fan I am. I don't care how much of a past fan I am to have a half sleeve dedicated to them. It doesn't matter. They S-U-C-K. They are terrible. Jack Del Rio, you should be ashamed of yourself. You came into this team last year as the defensive coordinator, and everybody was giving you so much praise. But you know what you have to do when you do something good? You have to follow it up with something else that is good when it comes to the sport of football and in life in general. I am out on this team, the Washington football team, the Washington team of football, WTF. What is going on with this team?
I have to ask you a quick question, really, really quick. Do you think they go after a quarterback after they missed on Justin Herbert and a few other quarterbacks in the last few years? And I was a big Chase Young guy, but man, they should have went quarterback now, man.
And this is not just from a fan of the team for 3.5 decades. I like Taylor Heineke. I think he needs more time to develop as the starting quarterback. He needs to go into an offseason as the starting quarterback. I mean, look, Fitzmagic came in. They gave him $10 million. Imagine if they would have gave that $10 million to some other position that they really needed, like the offensive line.
The Dolphins gave Jay Cutler $10 million. What the hell is your point?
Fitzpatrick's better than Jay Cutler. All Jay Cutler knows is how to do reality TV shows.
Next topic. I'm done with this. Next topic. Next topic. Go to the next damn topic. Go to the next damn topic.
Round 4.
The VCU Rams will qualify for the NCAA Tournament over the Richmond Spiders without Bones Hyland.
I'm going to go in. This is one that you are probably going to go out on, but looking at their current play, I really like Vince Williams. I really like how he plays. Ever since he came in as a freshman, a couple years back, I really like how he plays. And there's another guy on the team. I can't think of his name right now. I can see his face from watching him play a couple years ago, but he's still there.
Hassan Ward.
Hassan Ward is still there. Yeah, so that Hassan Ward, that's another one too that was going to be, if him and Bones would have stayed together, that would have been a nasty combination for a couple more years. But I don't blame Bones with the breakout year that he had last year, going, to the Denver Nuggets, like we were talking about recently. He's on the bench, like, you and I were talking about recently, and you were the one who informed me on it. He's on the bench for the Denver Nuggets, but where else would be a great place for you to be right now than to learn more from the Denver Nuggets, who actually have a good chemistry and a good team still together, than being still back at VCU. Now, back to VCU, like I said, I'm in because I like the young talent that they have. And when you have to pick them over Richmond Spiders, if you were to go back and forth, VCU's been the more dominant team if you were to go back over the past, decades, or the entire history of the two teams in colleges in the city of Richmond. That's why I have to go in. I like Mike Rhodes. I like the type of coach that he is. I have to go in on this.
It's hard for me because I saw the exhibition the other night against Virginia State, and I'm going to have to go out right now, but I'm only saying that only because of what I saw. Ace Baldwin is not back yet. He's injured. Ace Baldwin is the key to this team as at the point guard position, in my opinion. Hassan Ward, Vince Williams, you know what you're going to get. But what I did see, I saw too many fouls. And going into A-10 play, going into the Vanderbilt game that they're going to be playing here up in the next couple of weeks or whatnot, you can't be doing all that fouling. You can't allow teams to get to the free throw line like that. So I'm out right now, but I think that as the season goes on, I definitely will be in, probably because I think they'll improve. But from what I saw in the exhibition, I'm not too confident right now.
Get the f*** out of here!
I mean, I get it. And plus, it's against VSU, which isn't like a big-time school when it comes to basketball and stuff. They're more known for baseball than they are for basketball.
No. But actually, Virginia State's been playing very well in basketball these last few years. So, I mean, I know that they're not, in a major conference, but Virginia State basketball has been pretty decent. And to lose that exhibition, I believe the exhibition was like 77-54. That's not too bad, especially when I think like years ago when they played the exhibition. I think VCU scored like 92 points or something like that, and Virginia State only had like 50 or 60 points. So I mean, it was, in my opinion, especially where they started, Virginia State did a good job. But I just think VCU has things to clean up, and they were picked 8th last year and still got to the NCAA tournament. So I mean, I think they're picked 4th or 5th. So definitely they have some good things on the horizon.
And I look forward to seeing it. Like I said, with VCU, so much has changed over the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really want to see them make it. And it was really heartbreaking when the pandemic first happened back in 2020, when we were right there at the dance. They were going in, and to see the team that they had Marcus Evans and Isaac Van, all of them together. What if we would have seen them get to like a Final Four with that team?
And then I had the emotional breakdown on Facebook. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, I think the pandemic caused a lot of emotional breakdowns. So
man,
hence, and I'll take the fall for this. Hence why it's been 15 months since we've done this show. So that's the pandemic is.
We're back now.
We are back. So I'm excited.
Hey.
Final round.
Bray Wyatt will return to the WWE instead of jumping ship to a rival promotion.
All right. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Belts. Well, you can't see. Forget the belts. I'm out.
Get the f*** out of here!
And the reason I'm out is because something. Let me tell you something about Bray Wyatt, the eater of worlds, the can't you whatever. You want to know the truth, everybody? Luke Harper was always better than Bray Wyatt. That's the mystery of the Wyatt family. Why do you think that WWE was so passionate about giving Luke Harper a tribute? Now, they've been very cold to a lot of wrestlers, but I think deep down inside, Vince knows that Luke Harper was the better wrestler. He wasted Luke Harper. You know who he didn't waste? He gave Bray Wyatt all the chances he could give him. And what did Bray Wyatt do? Bray Wyatt never really got in shape like that. He was always one of those guys that looked lazy in the ring. Do you remember? I mean, they dropped him for Alexa Bliss. Have you seen the gimmick that she's portrayed as the Fiend? It's been the most, it's been disgusting. So for them to go for Alexa Bliss, when I even gave Alexa credit, but then she started acting like Alexa again, as trash. What do you think they think about Bray Wyatt's in-ring skills? I am out. If I was WWE, if I was AEW, I wouldn't bring him in. You know where Bray Wyatt belongs? He belongs on the indie circuit at a high school near you. That's how I feel about Bray Wyatt, Mr. Rotunda.
You know, I actually may have had to pull a Robb Johnson on this one because I had a pick in my mind, but now my whole thought process has changed because you brought up a very, very, very good, well, actually two very good points. One being Luke Harper, because they absolutely wasted his talents in WWE. As you could see when he got to AEW, it's just it's really heartbreaking to see that he didn't get more time because he.
Can I interrupt you 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody said this, and it is scary when somebody said it. He had the talent of the Undertaker as a big man, but go ahead.
Luke Harper?
Yes.
Yeah, I was seeing what he was doing with the Exalted One. Had we had more time, I would probably be leaning more towards that. I can't agree with that 100% because we didn't have enough time to see him on TV.
Somebody's skill set.
Skill set wise, a young Undertaker probably, but as far as a character development, have we seen his character and that's what's so heartbreaking about the AEW is the Dark Order has gone ever since he's left. They haven't done much. I mean, they brought in Adam Hangman Page to kind of fill in a role with that, but they're like just a group of lost souls now. Ever since Luke Harper, the Exalted One, Brody Lee, whatever you want to call him, is deceased and you passed away, which sucks. But with back to the Bray Wyatt thing, you with Luke Harper and with Alexa Bliss, you definitely have got my mind changing. Now, does he return to the WWE? I'm gonna go out.
Get the f*** out of here!
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go out. However, I think we're gonna see what he can really do with the character wherever he goes. If he goes to Impact, it's a waste because there's been rumblings about him going to either AEW or Impact. I think that would be stupid for him to go to Impact, considering how they don't even have fans in their shows. Same thing with Ring of Honor, because I've watched both of them recently. They don't have fans. If you really want to get, publicity and to develop your character, you really need to go to either two places, and that's WWE or AEW. If he goes to AEW, I don't know how much TV time he's going to get because there's a lot of big stars. You got Adam Cole, who just recently went there. You got Brian Danielson, who's just now there. You got CM Punk. These three big names just arrived in this company within the past, 6 weeks? So it would be stupid for him to go there now. He either needs to do one of two things. He needs to take some time off, come back in the springtime, maybe go to AEW then when we've had more time to forget about him, or go back to WWE, which honestly, the Monday night brand is suffering. So if I were to put him anywhere, I'd put him back on Monday night because SmackDown's still pretty solid. And there's no way they're taking the championship off Roman unless they actually do what they were planning on doing, what they've heard the rumors about with The Rock coming back and possibly challenging him at WrestleMania. But will The Rock take the championship off of him? No, he's going to beat The Rock too to boost his ego on that. So I don't see Bray Wyatt going back to WWE, at least on Fridays. He could potentially go there on Mondays, but I really think his best bet would be AEW. I just don't think it's right now. Had he gone 6 months ago, yes, it would be perfect. He would be a big time star. But another thing with AEW too is they don't like selfish talent. So they're going to be sharing the ball around, to everybody, so to speak. So I don't know how he's going to do with that. And like you brought the point of him being a former wrestler's son, second, third generation talent, because he's also part of the Wyndham stable. He could be a little prissy up there. He could be a little spoiled, and that could be a problem. Like you said, Luke Harper probably should have been the leader of the Wyatt family. He should have probably been the Bray Wyatt. You never know. But we'll never know because he's passed away, unfortunately. Bray Wyatt looks like he's 1 foot out the door, and we just don't know yet. But there's been rumors he met up with this masked guy. He's going to get possibly a new mask. Will that be for the Fiend character? Who knows? But I don't know.
Drew,
but I am out though.
Drew, who does WWE value more, Bray Wyatt or Bobby Lashley? If they were both in the company right now, honestly.
Bray Wyatt.
Well, I can't agree with that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Bobby Lashley, at least he beat Goldberg once, and then Goldberg had actually a tough match. Goldberg and Bray Wyatt was for the WWE Championship. I mean, for the Universal Championship. And Bray Wyatt lost within, like 10, 15 seconds. Bray Wyatt just has not been valued in WWE in a long time. So that's what I'm saying. I think that there are other guys that they value more. Plus, Bobby Lashley is, 45 years old, in tremendous shape. Bray Wyatt's 35, man. He's a slob. I'm sorry. That's why I'm out on him going back to WWE. And I'm out on him going to AEW, man, because AEW has too many stars. He's gonna get sunken. He's gonna get sank in there somewhere. This is turning into WCW in the 90s. You got too many stars on one brand. You're not building enough young stars. You're starting to have too many older guys. So for me, if I'm Bray Wyatt, to me, man, if you want to build an impact, you got to go to Kevin Owens' route. You got to go AEW, you got to go ROH. If he's that good, he'll bring the fans. And that's something you said. You said you don't see the fans. They don't have fans. Well, I don't know if they still have restrictions on COVID, etc. Yeah. But here's the thing. Once they bring back fans, go to one of those brands. If you're really that dude, you will pack the house. So that's what I'm saying. Once they bring the fans back, if you're really that good, you will pack the house. Bray Wyatt's got to realize, man, his time as the number one guy in the company is over. He has to go back and reassert himself. And if he can do that, then yes, maybe a year down the line, WWE, AEW. But right now, no, he's not that dude anymore. Sorry to all Bray Wyatt's fans, to Russ Talaferro and all the Bray Wyatt fiend lovers out there. Shout out to Russ Talaferro, by the way. But he's not that dude anymore. I'm sorry, he's just not that dude anymore.
Somebody had brought it up on the podcast I was watching recently where Bray Wyatt would fit in really well in Hollywood, where character-wise, you probably could fill in really well on a big screen. That would be probably, if he was to make a big move right now, that would be my suggestion, would be go do a movie. Not for WWE films, but go do an actual legit movie, out there and big time. Because
I think you'd be good as a voiceover for a black preacher.
Now, there was something that you touched up on that you brought up that I'm going to bring up, and I really, really hope that there's no sensitive people out there that are watching this podcast when I say this, because I'm not trying to upset anybody. This is not my point. I think with the whole Bobby Lashley and everything going on, I mean, if you take out Kofi Mania, which that was warranted. Like, Kofi earned that, and I was very happy to see Kofi get that WrestleMania victory, by the way. Very mad to see Brock Lesnar beat him in 8 seconds when he lost, because that pissed me off. Like, if it was him or anybody else, I'd be mad. But except from that point, except for when that happened and a few other flashes in the pan, I honestly think that WWE made Bobby Lashley and Big E champions for PR moves, because of everything that's happened over the course of the past 18 months in the world that we live in.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, sorry, Drew. You can't go there. Here, I'm gonna tell you why. Big E is a clown as a champion. I can't stand him as a champion. But Bobby Lashley, have you seen his resume? But here's the thing. And since we're talking about Bray Wyatt, when Bobby Lashley was given that angle with Lana, right? He took it like a champ. But you know what Bray Wyatt would have done? Bray Wyatt would have cried like a little biatch. I'm sorry. He would have cried like a little biatch. If you go back and look at Bobby Lashley's matches in Impact and the stuff he did in Impact and what he's done in WWE as far as his matches, I can't go there, man. Now, Big E, yes, I think that's more of a PR thing. As far as like them just wanting to get him the title because, Kofi had the title. They might get Xavier Woods the title. It's a New Day thing. But as far as on the higher scale, what you're talking about, as far as all the things going on, no. I don't think that has anything to do with it, because at the end of the day, you're not talking about guys who are just, champs because, they're trying to give them a token. These guys are legitimate bad. Bobby Lashley's a legitimate badass. And once they get him against Brock Lesnar, it's going to be a hell of a match. And think about this. They actually trusted him in a long match with Goldberg. That's all I got to say. I mean, yeah.
However, everything you said is fact. I agree with that. There's one thing, though. They waited till Bobby Lashley was 45 to put the title on him when the accolades-wise, he earned that 10 years ago. He should have had that championship 10 years ago. Should never left to begin with.
But he wasn't in WWE.
But he left because of that. He left because they weren't utilizing him right.
Who was the man though? But Drew, you have to understand.
Triple H was on top back then. They kept
no. It was
and Randy Orton.
It was still John Cena, but you have to understand WWE in that time, they were in like this Hulk Hogan type of mode with John Cena. Nobody was beating John Cena. But here's the thing. They still gave Bobby Lashley a shot at the title because he deserved it at the time. They gave R-Truth a chance at the title when he deserved it. Remember, R-Truth, before all this laughing, giggly stuff, Ron Killings was a hell of a wrestler. So, I mean, even when he faced John Cena in that match at Capital Punishment, he deserved it. Bobby Lashley deserved it here. And the thing is that for me, I think that, and I'll go back to it again, that angle he had with Lana really put him over. But you have to remember, man, that John Cena stuff, it was John Cena mania for like 5 or 6, 7, 8 years. He controlled the company. But now, as you see, John Cena slowed down. Bobby Lashley's 44, 45. But you see him and AJ Styles, they're still going because they keep themselves in tremendous shape. That's why they always stay at the top of the card, because they are consummate professionals. If Bobby Lashley wasn't a consummate professional, he wouldn't be in this position. And to me, even like a guy like Mark Henry, when he won the title late, Mark Henry started to slow down because of injuries, because of weight, etc. Bobby Lashley's not slowing down anytime soon. All you gotta do is look at his Instagram. Bobby Lashley's gonna get another shot at that title one of these days.
Yeah, he'll get another shot, but the one thing I feel like they've booked Big E a little stronger than they did with him, because with Bobby Lashley, he had to have a crew around him to get his championship and to retain it and to keep it for a while.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
He didn't even have the New Day. I
not
get
a
that.
fan.
But as far as he didn't even have to have the New Day around him to get the championship, he's been looking. I have to give the man credit. I kind of like the fact that they finally put the strap on him. Now, if they put Xavier Woods on the championship on him, then we can definitely steer the narrative that way. But I just feel because they waited so long to put the strap on Bobby Lashley. I mean, you could even argue that he deserved it a year earlier than what he actually got it for. I feel like that they have so much pressure to make these moves because of what's been going on ever since the whole pandemic started.
I don't think so, man. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I mean, because if that's the case, you could say they put it on Bianca Belair because of that. And that's not true. She's deserved it for the last couple of years. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Because like I said, for me, you know how I feel about the whole thing. I think the whole thing the whole thing was political anyway. But I mean, but I just think that the WWE finally sat back and said, guess what, guys? We've been looking like a company that hasn't been, and if we want to go ahead, we can go ahead and just put it out there. They haven't been pushing black wrestlers the way they should have been for years. And I think they just kind of got to the point of, you know what? Maybe we should go ahead and do that because that's a smart thing to do because we got some hell of a wrestlers on our roster. Like, you know, and instead of this little clown shit and all this other stuff, let's make these people look strong. And that's with everything. That's with wrestlers from different countries, etc. I just think WWE is evolutionizing, is evolving. And I think there are some fans out there who are not really liking that too much, but it is what it is. I mean, you know, we live in a different day and time. And, you know, if you have strong performers, put them in place. I mean, I
like they're evolving, but
because,
I think it's a little late. I think it's late. I think they should have done this 10, 20 years ago in certain aspects.
Well, Drew, let's be honest. It's about what the fans want. And it's about what the fans want, yes, but it's also about what the country is. And I mean, let's just go back to Triple H and Booker T. I mean, if it wasn't still in that right there is still a black eye on WWE to this day. It don't matter how many black champions win. That's still a black eye. And it will forever be because the promos, if that happened today, could you imagine? That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh,
that Booker T Triple H bull crap. Today, but here's the thing. That was in the middle of 2000s. So what does that tell you?
I mean, honestly, with the way the tactics have been towards attacking, you know, certain people out there, like I feel like I'm surprised that nobody has actually gone after him for that. Like nobody has brought that up, you know, saying like these were your storylines back in the day, you know, and look at
he's protected. Triple H is protected. However, here's the thing. Triple H has been the reason why a lot of these wrestlers who look a certain way have gotten to where they've gotten to. And the thing is that was that Triple H's idea for Booker T, or was that creative? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I would have to go do some deep digging, but I would definitely have to go see. But I'm glad you brought this topic up, because I think that it's still in the back of some people's minds. But hopefully going forward, we won't even have to have that conversation. People can just win titles just to win titles. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm looking for too. It looks really odd. Like, you know, because you know how like they write their scripts and stuff, half a year in advance, like whatever we've heard before. Like sometimes it's a quarter to half a year out is what they write their stuff out. So when you go back, and sometimes in some cases I've read, they sometimes write their stuff a year out. Like they write a whole year's worth of stuff the year prior. So how do we not know that when all the stuff was going on the way it was last year, when things were at the height of the way they were, that they weren't actually planning this stuff out, saying, okay, well, this guy's going to be under contract now. Let's go ahead and start writing for this. We need to start building him for this point, because they've been building Big E for over a year now. They separated him from the New Day. They got him the Intercontinental Championship on it was Thanksgiving or Christmas of last year. They were already building him for the 6 months prior to that. It's like, when you think about how the timing of all this stuff is, and I'm just a fan who watches the stuff. Yes, I'm older, but yeah, I still watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Maybe not live. I'll go back and watch the on-demand version, but I'll watch that and AEW just to see where they're all keeping up with each other. And AEW, in my opinion, has a slighter edge than WWE. However, I really feel like the storylines and the stuff they're writing, it's just pro wrestling when you watch AEW. It's less storyline. It's more old school wrestling, which I like. WWE is more, let's tell a story. Let's capture their hearts and let's suck them in storytelling wise, rather than tell a good story in the ring. And I feel like they're trying to tell more of a story based on what our life, what we're going through out here in the real world. They're trying to incorporate that into wrestling. And it's just the timing to me makes me feel that way. I don't have a problem with whoever the champion is. And like, I like both of them. Like, I know you don't like Big E. I don't have a problem with either one of them being whether it's WWE or Universal Champion. Yeah. I have a problem with the timing. They should have done this before all of this happens.
True. And like I said,
proactive, not reactive.
Yeah, and I'll leave it on this. Number one, I don't like Big E because of the clown stuff. I don't like that. That's not my thing. I like Bobby Lashley more because of more of the serious nature. And I know people will say, well, Seth Rollins is acting like a clown, but Seth Rollins is acting like a psycho. So that's not clownish. He's acting like a complete psycho. So that's what I like about his character. But I'll also say that we'll see, to your point, within 2 or 3 years. If they're still pushing everybody and giving everybody a chance in 2 or 3 years, then yes, I'll agree. But if they're not, then we will know there's a problem, and I'll leave it at that.
I look forward to it. We kind of spun off a little bit from our Bray Wyatt topic to into a bunch of different parts when it comes to pro wrestling, but it was definitely needed to be stated, and maybe we can have a question that comes back to that at some point down the line. And now, you know, we've finally gone through our first 5 rounds of 2021 in the INorOUT sports debate, and we are finally back and looking forward to getting back on this thing soon. To everybody who has taken the time to watch us again, who's been supportive, checked out our promo video, checked out episode 5, first one of 2021. Thank you very much. To my colleague, to my side, Mr. Robb Johnson, thank you again for coming back. And I look forward to doing more episodes like these here in the future. It has definitely been an experience, and I'm glad to be back.
All right, man. Great to be back, and I'll continue to dominate this.
We shall see. Everybody tune in for episode 6 here soon. For my colleague, Robb Johnson, I am Drew Willingham. Stay safe out there, everybody.